Yeah, my favorite. Yes, me.
Yes. So I love it. It's all the testimonies, all right? And it's so cool because we're like living this thing. We're live, just gonna give everybody a couple minutes to jump on here. But now it's pretty dope because we're all like really living it.
Mm-hmm.
And that part is just really, really cool. You know,
Yeah,
it's one thing to teach something, but it's another thing when it's like, nah,
yeah.
this is what we're doing every day, you know, in real life. And so, you guys that are jumping on here, hey, hey, hi, Cora. So, listen, everybody, please go ahead and share this
Yeah,
feed,
here.
share it on your Facebook, text somebody, tell them jump on here. We're going to get into some really good conversation that I think is going to be highly beneficial to everyone, really, for real. Hey, Kiana, what's going on? So welcome, welcome, welcome tonight. My name is Jewel Tankard, and I'm on here with some pretty brilliant, amazing people. Hey, Caprice, Sharon, Stephanie. I'm here with some people that I really respect and love, and have made a lot of money with, and we're really just getting started. And we're gonna help a lot of people make a lot of money. And so for those of you that are kind of new to who we are and what we're doing, I've been in crypto really heavy for the last 7 years. Sandra, I have loved it. It has made me a very wealthy woman, so I'm very, very grateful for that, Kathy. But I also know and I understand that pivoting is very important, right, L'Oreal? Knowing when to pivot, knowing when to shift. And last year, I was having a conversation with Kita and Mill, and just talking about, hey, I really feel like we, need to really start looking heavily, Donna, into hard assets. You could see a lot of the volatility and things that had happened in crypto. And again, I still think crypto is strong. I think Bitcoin is strong, and particularly, I think we all need to be saving it aggressively. But I also caution there are a lot of different platforms that are promising certain amount of money every day. And, some of those really pay, but then sometimes they really don't. And when they don't, it's like, ugh. So I think that having hard assets needs to be in addition to, I'm not saying it has to be either or, but I think that hard assets is something that needs to be in everybody's portfolio. And when you study the lives of the wealthy, all of them, most of them, I will say, have a good amount of hard assets in their portfolios. So tonight we're going to have an opportunity to kind of get in. This is Tavaverse, the name of the company, which is the financial section of Tava. Tava started off with six nutritional products, and my business partner, Kenny Lloyd and Shantae Lloyd, and I, we decided to partner a little bit earlier this year to launch this financial educational division. And Kenny said, hey, why don't you bring together the best of the best? And I said, let's do it. And so tonight we're going to have an opportunity to kind of hear from each person and what they're offering and why we think that hard assets and investing in businesses and investing in hard assets is important. And then also how you can do it, because most people don't feel like they can do it. They feel like, oh, that's for, Jewel, or that's for Phil, or that's for Keita, or that's for Kim Kiyosaki. No, it's for anybody who makes a decision that they want to get involved, because there's so many resources. And so we've been blessed here at Tavaverse to pull together, Letitia, some of the, I think, the best of the best. I'm learning something all the time. Every day that I'm talking to them, even before this call, we were celebrating. Phil just got another property. Mill just picked up a Tesla for Toro, things that she learned here. Kita, they were looking at a commercial building last week. And so everybody on here is actively and aggressively building wealth. And we want you all to be able to do that in hard assets too. And so I think I'm going to let Mill kick us off tonight. Mill, you've been really instrumental in helping a lot of helping myself, my brand, and I know some people on here as one of the educators in Tavaverse where systems is concerned. You'll be thinking your stuff is together, and then Mill will come along and say, "Not really, right, Keita?" And now she's doing it in such a nice way. I'm so proud of her. but but talk about just systems. And I mean, how important is that to be able to scale? I mean, when we started working even on my entities, things were a mess several years ago. I built a lot, but the systems just weren't there. And so it made me pay more in taxes, and stuff was just slipping through the cracks. How important it is systems for a business to be able to scale?
Systems are extremely important for a business, and it's extremely important even for your personal life. Like if you don't have any types of system and structure, you'll find yourself in chaos. You'll find yourself feeling overly stretched, like you can't get anything done. And it's not that you can't get anything done, it's just that you don't have structure. And so when you're talking about wanting to scale in business, it's extremely important to know the vision and the big picture, but it's even more important to come up with what are the behind the scenes things that I need in place to actually make this thing happen. And so that's really one of my biggest things. And so, like, even working with you, like you mentioned, and you jumped into real estate, because the thing is, and this is what I want you to understand, it's okay to not know everything and make a move. Sometimes people feel like you got to have it all together, but no, just make the move. And then as you're going along, you'll figure things out. And so that's where systems come into play, because sometimes if it's new territory, you may not know everything that you need to know. And then sometimes you'll have analysis paralysis because you're thinking too much. So the key is just to get in there and then figure it out as you go. And so I know with Dr. Jewel a couple of years ago, when she first started jumping in heavy in real estate in Detroit, like every time we turned around, it was a property here, a property here, a property here. And then she had people that was literally driving around picking up rent and then doing all this stuff. And I was just scratching my head like, what is going on? This is just too much, trying to keep up with who paid and who didn't, trying to, figure out, are they tenants you even want in your property? Trying to figure out, are they paying security deposits? What does their credit look like? Do they have evictions? Like all these different things. And so I, came on the back end and was like, okay, we got to create, and then in that creation, we were able to leverage a platform that marketed her properties for her, that allow people to pay the application fee and actually send us a report and say, here's their credit. This is what we recommend. It's up to you at the end of the day. Here's, their rental history, so you can see that to make a determination. Here's where they'll pay their monthly rent, pay their deposits. When they pay their deposits, we're going to send this money to this account, because this is like escrow money you don't spend, just in case when they move, you give them their money back. You got money going over here. So it was just like putting those things in place, and then it allowed her to scale even more to now where she's moving to something bigger. I don't know if you put that out there yet, so I ain't gonna put it out there, but she got some other things going on, right? But because of the systems, it helped her see a bigger way and a bigger flow, and easy to manage. Because if you don't have the systems and you don't feel like you can manage, you'll hit your ceiling. But once you create the system and see how easy it is to manage, it's easy to jump from one to the next, to the next, to the next.
And I love it, because that's one of the things that you're offering here, at Tavaverse, helping everybody get their systems in place, whether it's for their personal life, for their business life, even for your family, even things as small as your calendar, where you might feel like, man, I'm so overwhelmed. Because I think that's what happens with a lot of people that are self-employed. They just start feeling like, if I want it done right, I got to do it myself, or I don't have enough time in the day. It's probably because you don't have enough organization. It's probably because you don't have the systems that you need in place. And so what we do is you come in and you have access to, a Camille every single week to help you to start to go in every area of your life and begin to put those things in place. So now you feel like you have free time to really expand your empire, because you can't do it if you've got too many things going on and things are just out of order. I mean, my income went up drastically. The more order I had, the more my income, it increased, because I was able to take on more responsibility, right? Which is important, because you got to be willing to take on more responsibility. But if mentally you feel like you're overwhelmed, physically you feel like you're overwhelmed, you're not going to be able to grow. And then Marquita is completely brilliant with marketing and really building a brand. Like Build a Bear, she know how to build a brand. And really kind of helps you back up and kind of look and see, okay, what do I have? What am I known for? What am I known for? One of the things, even before President Trump became President Trump, his core brand was, most people knew him for real estate. So he became a master at real estate. And then eventually he branched off and did TV, and then branched off and did politics. So regardless of what you felt about him, he had a really good marketing team that said, hey, you want to become known for this. And Marquita is really good at helping you, Jolanda, figure out, who am I? what do I want? And then how do I market that? How do I communicate who I am to the public? Because even if you feel like you're a private person, when you start talking about doing big business, you got to still understand that you're going to need to know how to market that. So Keita's done a phenomenal job with a lot of different businesses, including mine, and she's going to have an opportunity to work with all of you. So Keita, can you kind of talk about that a little bit?
I mean, Dr. Joy, you just like really hit it all on, the nail on the head. I mean, you're spot on. One of the things that, and I love it so much because marketing plays a big role in whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish from a business standpoint. And once we figure that part out, you guys, that's when you can start seeing scaling up happen in your business. So at Tavaverse, one of the things that I am so excited and honored to be able to share is to be able to teach people from a broad and a deep perspective when it comes to their business. So you may be on here right now and you may be someone that has a concept. And that concept is still just a concept. It's still just a vision because you don't really know the necessary tips or the tools or the strategies to be able to cause that particular vision to manifest. And so with Tavaverse, what we do here is to help take that from just being a thought to being manifested, right? And helping to pull that out, helping to show you how to turn around and create multiple streams out of one particular business model. And then you may be someone on here as well that already have an established business, but you're still stuck, right? And you're at a position to where it's like I'm at a halt. Maybe I'm making 5 figures. Maybe I tapped over into 6 figures. I'm looking to scale up to 7 figures, 8 figures, whatever that may look like. But you're at a position to where there's more that needs to happen. Then here we would show you how to turn around and scale that particular business up to be able to get the income flow, to be able to get the capital, be able to get whatever it is that you need in your business to be able to go to a whole nother level. You may be someone on here as well that's like, oh my God, I at this point, I own real estate, I just don't know how to, market it, successfully, or I need tenants, or I may, want to be able to scale up with multiple units or whatever it may look like. We're teaching you guys from every single area. So if you've been watching and you've been saying, what is this Tavaverse? What are they doing over here? Like we've literally created, 7 different educational asset platforms that we're literally teaching you guys how to become experts in the area. And I'm really grateful because a lot of people need this type of teaching, especially in the area of marketing, because we can be literally like we're on right now, Dr. Jewel, Phil, and Camille, right? We're on right now. And a lot of people get used to just constantly scrolling and looking at the visions of so many other people, but yet they have a vision for themselves, but yet they just don't, have yet to actually act on it. And so what we do here is help to pull those things up out of you, help to be able to give you the strategies, give you the systems, give you, help you to run the play. You know what I mean? To be able to help to scale up in every single area, from a business perspective. So I mean, it's really going great. And a lot of people are actually benefiting from the education that we're sharing with them. People are implementing, everything that we're sharing with them from a week to week basis, and they're actually seeing success in it.
I'm really glad that you said week to week, because it's not a one-time thing. I know you said something the other week about TikTok. And I wasn't really posting on TikTok like that. And now I'm posting on TikTok. And now my engagement is increasing. I've been on to post on TikTok, but because I was on your session and you were talking about TikTok, it was like, girl, post on TikTok, And so now I'm posting on TikTok every day, but I needed to hear it again, Camille, we were doing something on my phone and you were like, you're talking about making sure using your Google Calendar, and we made some adjustments on there. You were teaching on that. So systems, marketing, building a brand, building a wealth portfolio, understand that it is a current, which means that it is always moving. It is not, oh, I did this last year. Oh, I did that last month. It is what you should be doing ongoing so that you can continue to scale. Because what we found, Phil, is we had people who bought one investment property but didn't buy any more, or maybe had several, but maybe they're not really profiting the way that they should. Phil is amazing with really helping you to find off-market property deals, and then structuring those deals and then really creating a vision to scale your portfolio. I love it, because how often are you buying properties now, Phil? I mean, literally.
That's funny. We buying properties almost every day, not every day. It's a joke, you guys. That's an inside joke. But yeah, almost every day, almost.
Almost every day. And investors, would you say that the average person that's probably out there just feels like they want to invest, but they just don't know how to invest?
100%. Almost everybody I meet, when I tell them I'm in real estate, oh, I've always wanted to invest in real estate. But they never let it go further than that. They just like, I always wanted to do that. That's a nice thing to have. And all right, cool. You're so amazing. You're in real estate.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So you're teaching every single week, really helping people really get a lot of value. We already got a lot of success stories within the Tavaverse community. What are some of the things that people will learn where real estate is concerned that are listening today?
Excellent question. So we were talking about it before this call. So it's a property we purchased. It's a duplex. And just to kind of go over the numbers, we bought this property for $135,000. We probably got 40,000 into it. So what is that? 175. How about math? Right, 170. So we're probably 180 into it. And literally just before I hopped on this call, I got the email of the appraisal report, and the property appraised for 260. Right. So we appraised for 260,000. This property cash flows somewhere between $2,500, maybe up to $2,800 a month. Right. And so I'm getting to your question here. We're going to refinance.
Get your pen. Hold on, everybody. Get your pen. Say it again to people in the back. So you got 175 in.
Yep. And we put 40 into it. So we're about 175, 180 all in.
Okay.
And it's appraised for 260,000. So what that means right now, we're already winning. If we decided to sell this property, we would make that difference. So that's about 80K. And I don't know, maybe it's like 90 days or something like that, or maybe 120 days. So we could do that right now. But as you mentioned earlier, Jewel, we're talking about hard assets and building wealth, not just getting a big bag of money. And I mean, you can do that. There's a season for everything. And there's certain times where we sell properties like, man, we got to get this money in because we got these other plays that we're going to make. And there's a time for that. You just got to make sure your tax strategy is set up, because that's a taxable event when you sell the property. You guys can still hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, excellent. So, all right, perfect. So in this particular case, we're not doing it. What we're talking about is the bird strategy. That's going to be something that's everyone that joins learns. How to buy a property, how to repair a property, how to rent it out, refinance it, and then repeat that, which is the most important part to wealth building. So you do it over again and again and again. And all of a sudden you got 30 rentals, or you got 40, or you got 50 or 100, and you start getting the multifamily, and you got 6,500 like my mentor, or 6,000 like Ken Kiyosaki. And it's very doable once you understand the steps to get there. To bring this point home, that particular property, we're not choosing to make that 80K, because what we're going to do is refinance it. I think we're still getting 80%. That's like 208,000. So that means the bank is going to give, we're all our money is 180,000. We're going to get 208,000 from the bank. That's a difference of 38K, which is that's going to be tax free, right? It's refinance proceeds. It's a loan, right? So you don't pay taxes on a loan. So we get that money. Now we got 38,000. We can go do something with another property, but we still own this property, right? And it's producing somewhere between, because one of the units not rented. We're not sure if we're going to do midterm or what with it, but it's going to produce somewhere between $2,500 and $2,800 a month if we just do it all long term, right? So now we're going to cash flow roughly around, I think it's like maybe $900 a month total after all the expenses, etc. And we still own the asset. We got 40K, and it's a beautiful thing. And we're going to keep doing it over and over. So everyone that joins Tavaverse is going to learn how to do that. And they're going to learn how to get those properties, how to find those deals so they can do that. Because, I mean, big part of it is just having your friends, right? Telling people, I'm in real estate. And then you got the community. I'll actually give you guys a little bit of an insight. We talked about on the educator calls, just a little touch here, where individuals that are in Tavaverse right now, I'm telling them, go tell everybody you're in real estate. Because all of a sudden, your family members, your friends are going to be like, oh, you're in real estate. What do you do? How does it work? Etc. And the people that are in Tavaverse, guess what? They don't have to know everything. Oh, they're coming to me to ask me questions because guess what? They're a phone call away, they're a text away. They get to lean on the community. Hey, Tavaverse, like Phil, what do you think? Jill, what do you think? And that's for one problem. So now we can help them help someone else. They make money on the way, right? And they actually make money while learning, as opposed to bump their head or I lost the bet. You know what I mean? And that's a big thing. You'll always hear me talk about that because I was the one bumping my head, and every time I bumped my head, I fumbled the bag. I was like, oh man, again, right? But when you actually able to learn, make mistakes, and have someone guide you and say, okay, you're a worst case scenario. You didn't make money, but let's say you're not losing money, but you have the opportunity to actually make money while learning. That's a beautiful thing, right? And and that's just not real estate, right? Because guess what? The same thing happens when you have a system issue, right? When you're running your company or you're growing your company, you trying to figure out, because I was there at one point, like, man, I don't understand. I'm doing 5 deals right now. I'm pulling my hair out. How am I supposed to do more than this one deal? And I find out a guy's doing 100 deals working 2-3 hours a week. Guess what? Camille got you covered on that because there's systems, people, processes, right? And here's a joke. We want to talk about marketing. How many people see a liquidation sale? Oh, going out of business. One of my mentors always jokes. Every time he sees somebody doing it, he said, man, if you guys did this much marketing while you were in business, you wouldn't have this going out of business sale. So this is everybody in the so all of this stuff, you hear me throw out the term holistic or all encompassing.
Wow.
You're literally getting hit at every angle to be successful financially, right? Whether it's a mindset issue or it's like, hey man, like sometimes you just don't know what you don't know. And it's strong when you have a community, when you have people that's like, look, I've been there, done that, or people that's growing with you, and it just starts to snowball. And ultimately it gets to a point where success is just a natural result of who you're surrounding yourself and the action you're taking, which is really all success is. So
whoa.
You know I go long, so I'm gonna stop there.
Like guys, like what's so dope about what Phil just said is that when you think about it, whenever you step over into a type of profession, right, you're learning that particular skill. And so you said something that was so profound, Phil, because you was like, you can be learning in this particular area, but you have so many other coaches, so many other people in areas that you might not just went to school for, that's going to be right here on the back end, assisting and helping along the way. So now you don't even have to turn around and figure it out. So like, for example, if you're someone that's on here, because I had spoke to a young woman who wanted to get over into real estate, but she wanted to be a real estate agent, but she really wanted to really get into real estate investing. And so when she came over here, she was like, wait a minute, this is really amazing, because now I don't even have to focus from a real estate, agent standpoint. I can now be an investor, and you know what I mean, start multiple businesses, do investing, everything that I need. I have 7 coaches that is going to hold my hand, that's going to teach me everything I need to know. And as I keep scaling up, they're going to be here to help me continue to keep scaling up. It was like for her, the light bulb clicked, you know what I mean? And it was just kind of like, oh my goodness. It's like when you go to a conference, you're going to go to hear a specific information pertaining to a specific topic, right? And you ain't going to just turn around and get like what you just mentioned, Phil. You have someone that can turn around and teach you the system. It ain't like you go get the property and then now you don't even know how to put the tenants in it. You don't know how to manage it. You don't know how to market it. You don't know how to do none of that. But you have an educator. You can literally go connect, get the property, have a field come on that's going to show you how to get multiple doors. Have a jewel that's going to show you how to get multiple doors. That's going to teach you how to put the tenants, how to get it to scale up. Then you're going to have a systems put in place. Then we have credit people in putting on the back end that's going to make sure that we help you get you to where you need to. We got the banks, we got the marketing, we have the mortgage, we have all of these people that are helping. You know what I'm saying? And so when you think about the beauty of the community and why it is important to have a community like this at your exposure, it's like that alone is priceless. Like when you think about it, because it's like once I get one door, and I decide to get 2 doors, 3 doors, 5 doors, or if I decided to start a business, you know what I'm saying? How do I get that business to be successful. Now I have educators that's going to show me how to do this and market it and turn it into multiple, you know what I'm saying, avenues. Like, this is really, 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 really major. Like, I'm just sitting here just thinking like, wow, what you've created, Dr. Jewel, what you and Kenny have created and allowed us to become a part of something that is going to absolutely change and revolutionize the entire world. For those that grab it and catch on, they're going to be like so excited to know that we have something like this that is really making massive impact. You know what I'm saying? That's really helping a lot of people. So I'm really excited about it. Like, it's pretty dope. I know people in the chat. If you're in the chat right now, you should literally be tagging somebody. I'm serious. Tag somebody right now if you know if they wanted to ever purchase their first home. I want you to tag their name right now in the chat, okay? If they ever wanted to purchase their first home, but for some reason, maybe they are an entrepreneur, and they are an entrepreneur that for some reason banks are not actually getting them approved. They don't really know what to do. They have been renting for years and they don't know, they're stuck. Tag them right now and put Tavaverse next to their name, right? Because we have that answer for them. I want you to tag somebody on here that's like, you know what? I want to start a business, or I have an idea or a concept. Tag them and put their name on the side of it and say Tavaverse, okay? Because this platform is going to help them. Help someone, tag somebody else that's like, you know what? I always wanted to get a trust. I always wanted to, you know, position myself from an LLC standpoint. You know, I want to get my life in order from a system standpoint. Like, I just need all around help. Tag their name and put Tavaverse on the side of it, okay? Tag somebody right now that's like, you know what? I need to get my credit up. And I don't just need to get my credit up. I need to understand credit. I need business funding. Tag their name right now. I need to be able to scale where that is concerned. I want to have knowledge and understanding. Tag the person's name. Come on, tag the name, and put Tavaverse on the side of it. Because right now you are assisting and you are helping somebody, help them to scale up. You know, we've created this community, not just for us, right? We're stepping over and says we're utilizing everything. Or we're bouncing off of Phil. We're bouncing off of Dr. Joe. I'm bouncing off of Camille. We're literally turning around seeing success every single day because of the community. And we want to make sure that your family, your loved ones, your friends, your neighbors, everyone else is connected to this particular platform so they can begin to scale up. So get the tagging names, share the feed right now, because what we're talking about is definitely important. Okay, Dr. Joe, that's all I had to say. I just had to get
I just wanted to say too, just piggybacking off of Phil and Marquita, it's really the community for me, because like even with all of us, and Phil, I still got to message you, I forgot, but even with all of us being educators, we're still learning from each other. We have been scaling up even in the things that we have going on, like literally from getting on the session. So we don't just get on the session to teach. I be on everybody's session with my notebook like, okay, I need to do X, Y, Z. And so I love what Phil said about we may be at a certain level, but we're still all growing together. We're still all increasing together. And I just wanted to share this brief testimony, which is so dope, because like 3 weeks ago when we first launched Tavaverse, Brianna, who couldn't make it on tonight, she's our credit girl, y'all. She dropped some major sauce, because this is the thing I want you to realize.
Don't tell them the sauce though, Millie. Don't tell them. They gotta be
What?
They
no,
get
I'm not going to tell
the result of the sauce.
Right. I'm going to tell the result of the sauce.
Okay.
But she dropped some major sauce and my antennas went up like, wait, hold on. I've been, you know, doing this thing for years and I ain't never heard this before. And I literally took what she applied. It was dealing with like cars and things like that, because one of the things I want you to understand with Tavaverse, why our goal is for you to own some real estate, everybody's process is going to look different. We're provoking you to think and figure out what is your strategy, what is the systems that you need to have in place to get to your end goal. And so I knew for me, I have a goal of, you know, buying my first fourplex this year and a couple of other things. I'll talk to Phil about doing more wholesaling and things like that. But also I knew I wanted to get my cash flow up too, even more. And so Brianna dropped some sauce on her credit session or whatever, where cars were concerned. And she was like, blah, 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 right? And I was like, that's all you got to say. So literally, many people may have seen on social media, and Dr. Jill just mentioned it. So I officially launched a Turo business, right? And so literally within 2 days, well, literally within 12 hours through the strategy that Brianna gave me, I was able to get my Tesla, and then the Range Rover is on the way, and then I have a Lexus, and then the Lexus and the Tesla are running Turo, but the Lexus alone produces enough to pay all cars, all insurances, and profit. So now through the community of Tavaverse, you're learning how to take things that people will look at as liabilities and turning them into assets. And so it's just a game changer. So I'm like super excited. And I can't wait for all y'all sessions this week because y'all just helping me scale.
Listen, that's the thing that I love. And congratulations on your 2 cars in 12 hours. That's amazing. You know, I want to encourage you guys that are watching right now. If you're a guest on here, somebody invited you on here, get back with that person, you know, that reached out to you and asked you to jump on here and say, hey, you know, I'm ready to go. What do I need to do? You know, just for $150 a month, it can change your life. If you decide you want to add on some nutritional products too, which I highly recommend, we got a detox tea that I'm literally about to drink this tea right after this tonight. It really works. We got a multivitamin, collagen, 20 and fine is what we call it. It really, our products really do work. But you know, obviously, you might just want to focus on the financial education side. But really, honestly, if you're going to become successful, you're going to need relationships. You're going to need the right relationships. And what I love about all of our educators, they study this stuff. They eat this stuff. So I don't have to study everything in real estate. I don't have to study everything in marketing. I don't have to study everything in systems. I don't have to study everything in credit. We have educators that this is what they're literally doing it. They're living it and they're studying it. They're going to the top conferences. I just left a really dynamic wealth conference over the weekend in Miami. I was speaking and learning. Right? Phil just came back from real estate conference. Camille, Keita. I mean, we're always exposing ourselves, making sure that we have the most cutting edge, disruptive thought process. We're building a very strong asset portfolio. I want to ask you all a question real quick. If I'm just going to ask you this, just think about this, and maybe you haven't thought about this, but if you could say, if I could create this much coming in every single month in ROI, this would be my ideal number. Some of you say, hey, if I could make an additional $1,000 a month, if I could make an additional 5,000 a month, maybe 10, maybe 50,000, maybe 100,000, like what could you see yourself doing? Because that's what we're going to do here at Tavaverse. We're going to help you to invest in hard assets and other things, and even businesses. Phil, there are going to be some businesses where they have opportunity to invest in businesses. That's another big thing. Or some of you might get together and you might partner on deals, right? We have the banks that are going to get you approved. We know how to get your credit done. We've already approved people $2 million, $500,000, 300,000. The approvals are literally coming through almost every single day. So we literally are helping real people get real assets and have real results. But if you were to put a number, what would that number be? I want to see what that number is. How much every month would you like to be making with your return on your investments from hard assets? Is it 10,000, 5,000, 1,000 extra a month, 2,500 a month? Put that in the chat. I want to see those numbers. Phil, real quick, talk a little bit about, because we're going to be, you know, some of the Tavaverse community, they'll have an opportunity to partner in some different deals, or partner in the business. Kind of talk about that. We've been talking about that and looking and just kind of vetting and seeing what would be kind of some of the best deal to bring to our Tavaverse members. But there's going to be a lot of opportunities. So talk about what that looks like a little bit. Syndication, maybe.
Oh yeah, so it's a lot of different ways. So again, it's for everyone, right? So Keita, you talked about, hey, some people may be wanting to be like, they got a business going. And so I get it. When you're running a business, you're like, okay, yeah, real estate. I know I'm supposed to do it, but I need, I got to work on this here, right? And that's what we got Camille for, so you can actually have time to focus, right? Because the systems is very freeing. But the point is, so that may be going on, but everybody needs to invest in real estate. So it's multiple ways to do it, right? One, you could just do it 100% passively, where you're like, look, okay, I know they got this thing going. I can become a partner in this particular asset. I'll get to some syndications, but I can be a private partner on this and get cash flow from it. And I talk about minions, right? Using your money as minions that go out and their job is to go get more, right? So as you have your business running and you learn how to run it better through Tavaverse, you're getting your systems, your marketing, and everything else running better, right? You're getting access to more capital. Well, now you got a place that, I can use this passively, whether I am actually buying the asset, I'm a GP, a general partner on like a syndication where I'm a part by it, and I'm benefiting that way, or if I'm just like, hey, I'm just the money and I'm getting the cash return. So Julie, you talked a bit about syndications. We'll definitely have those, right? When you start talking about bigger deals, with the more comments you add on to the deal, it's the more it becomes a team sport, right? A lot of people, look, and I'll just keep it real, right? A lot of people like on social media, oh, look, we just bought this, whatever, 500 unit apartment building. I just, it's mine. I bought it cash or whatever. And that's cool. But I'm just telling you that probably less than 1% of them is actually telling the truth. What they say now, you cap, that's all cap right there. What it is a lot of people are actually, you're coming together, right? Again, we're going back to the importance of community. Guess what? When you are surrounding yourself with the right people, and we got Jewel, we got Keita, we got Camille, right? We got Brianna, we got all these other people not only helping each other, but we got this opportunity and whatever. Let's just 100 units, right? It's 200 unit complex. And it's whatever, $20-30 million. It becomes a team sport. I'm not going to break down exactly each component, but it becomes a team sport where all of us can partake, all of us can eat, and because that pie is so big, everybody's eating good, right? For some of you that don't know, like a syndication, just keep it really simple. It's basically you raise money on a real estate deal. You don't do it on smaller deals because the pie is too small. But again, you start talking about an asset that's producing like $300-400K a month, and it's a lot more pie and it's actually meaningful. So you'll definitely have opportunities like that, and you'll learn, right? It's just so much. I actually want to mention something. So for those of you in the chat that are thinking of your number, right? Like, is it 10K a month? Is it 20K a month? Quick exercise. Don't just come up with a random number, please. Don't just say, 10K a month sounds excellent because I only make 60K a year. And if I made 10K a month, I do want you to consider, because we're talking about some of this is passive money, right? That's coming in. So that's the whole, it don't take much passive when you don't have to work for it. $50,000 go a long way. Right. But the point I want you to do, I actually want you to just think backwards from your, what you actually want to obtain. I'm not going to go through the whole exercise, but the point is, think about, okay, what kind of house you want, what type of car you want, because that's what people start with. But then think about your life, right? What are the things that you want to do with your time, with your family? What are the things you want to own? It's okay if you want to, buy some nice stuff, that's cool. But think about that. And then get an idea of how you want to do that on a monthly basis. Jewel, you talked about a standard. Now I gotta have a chef, I gotta have a housekeeper. I can't have a house where I don't have these different things. Well, guess what? You work backwards from those things. Okay, if all these different things each is gonna cost me a few $1,000s a month. Okay, all right, I'm focused on these assets, whatever, whether it's digital or hard assets, they gotta produce. I want them to produce this amount. So everyone that's in the chat that's listening, just think about those things. An easy way to start: your car, your house, and some of the things you you need to live, that you want to spend each month. And then you add those up and come up with a number. For some of you, it's going to be a lot more than what you thought, and some is going to be a lot less. Generally, the larger population is less than what they think, because again, you making the money and you still got your time. And that's a beautiful thing. I don't want to keep repeating, but when you actually making money and it's not tied to you doing, and you're no longer trading your life for dollars, literally, man, when you get around higher people, higher conversations, you start thinking about dollars is literally trash, man. I've seen people burn money, literally burn it, because it's fiat. It's really not, it's not anything. And you can produce it so easily. It's okay, whatever. This is, it's different levels to it. I don't want to stunt too hard, but it's people that's whatever, $10,000 is nothing, right? I'll make that back in next, give me 10 minutes type of thing, right? So point is, you can get, but the reason why I'm mentioning that, not to really show off, but the point is you can get there. And that's just about the people you surround yourself with. The community is so strong. And I just want to make sure I give y'all that, I leave y'all with that, because that is how you achieve everything you want. It's not purely, I'm not saying, you get a part of the community and all of a sudden magic happens. It is a little bit of magic in there, but what's actually happening is you're starting to change who you believe you are. You're starting to change your self-image, because the mirror that's being reflected from all these people that are around you is different. They're all these people that's thinking up here now. All of a sudden, you're like, oh, okay. And it becomes a natural part of who you are. And that reflects your thoughts, your beliefs, and your actions. And all of a sudden, you get those results. And it's like, dang, that was a lot easier than I thought. All right, I'm off my tent. I
was just gonna say right there, getting that every week, because I'm over here taking notes like I'm in class, because when you asked the question, Dr. Jewel, in my mind, my first goal was 100K, but I did a sort of like what Phil said, but I was just like, okay, that would be if the rent was $1,200 a month per unit, or if I brought in $1,200 a month per unit, that would put me at 100 units. That's 120,000 a month. So I was looking at it like that. But now when he broke it down the other way, I was like, okay, so I started immediately writing down what my life would look like. So now I'm about to go back and put some dollar amounts, because the house that I want for real, that's going to probably be like a 5-figure a month deal with the way the markets are now. So it's like, okay, write that down. Those cars you got working, but you got some other cars you're looking for. So write that down. So now on top of that, then how much do you want to have to continue to invest and flip? Write that down. So that was just like a whole game changer for me. So thank you for my homework assignment on this good Sunday.
Right.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll go through that. It's some additional steps. I didn't want to go too deep, but it's some additional steps.
Y'all join
The next thing
Tavaverse
is
so
the
y'all
how.
can get that information, okay?
They gotta join.
Right.
You really should join, like seriously. What we have is really special. And we're a family. And not only that, in addition to that, we literally are coming to a city near you, and we're actually going out and looking at properties, having a contractor there, having a city official there, so you know what's happening in the city, to know where you should be buying, looking to buy, near universities or near hospitals. I mean, there's definitely an art to it. You just don't want to jump into real estate. You don't want to just jump into an asset class. You want to make sure that you have people that this is what they really do, so that you become skilled at it. You see what I'm saying? Because there is a skill to it, because all deals are not created equal, which is why we have people that are already, putting in a purchase agreement on their first deal and looking at their second deal. Why are they still a part of the community? Because your growth is ongoing. It is not I got on that session, or I signed up one time for them for this. This is serious development. All of us still get mentored. Nobody on this call, not one educator is still not in position of being mentored. That's the only way you really go from level to level. That's how you go from, 5 figures a month to 6, and 6 to 7, and 7 to 8, is you got to be really committed to making sure that I understand that I need to stay a student. So when they call people experts, they're simply saying, I'm paying that person to teach me what they have become a master student at. That's all you're doing, really. You just became a master student at it. And so I really want to encourage you, get back with that person that invited you on here tonight. Make a decision. We're about to go into June. We literally are going to be talking about jingle bells in 2 seconds. So you got to make a decision to say, I got to go into 2024 much wealthier, much stronger, much better. And you cannot take yourself to the next level. I can't take myself to the next level. God designed this thing where you need connection. Anytime you want to become something, you got to connect to it. You cannot become it by yourself. YouTube is great, but there's some times where you need community, where you can pick up the phone and say, I can't tell you, this is what I'm working on. I can't tell you how many times I talked to Phil. Like, hey, what about this? Hey, what about that? Because there are going to be different things that come up, and every deal is different. There are some deals that are going to be the same. You need the appraisal. You need property taxes. You need to know what the income, what the market. I mean, there's certain things you're going to learn, but there's going to be other things that come in the middle of that deal. You're like, wait a minute now. What about this? Or I didn't think about this, or I didn't think about that. So you're going to, for real success, so that you're not bumbling your head or making mistakes that you could have avoided had you been in the Tavaverse community. So I want to make sure you get back with the person that invited you on here. If you are a guest on here, I know we have a lot of Tavaverse members on here tonight. We appreciate you guys coming on. But if you are a guest, put guest. If you are a member already of Tavaverse, just put I love Tavaverse, okay? If you're a guest, just put guest in the comments. We want to see who you are. So real quick, as we get ready to wrap up tonight, just any last words for people that are on here that might be like, this sounds really good, What would be that last thing to help them just make a quality decision to get started? So Phil, I'll let you start. What would be that last thing that you would tell them?
Oh, that's real easy. Was it 3 days ago? This Thursday, somebody paid me $25K to coach them for 4 months. That was it on real estate, right? And that's just what, and they just know, and they see me speak, and then that's how that goes, right? I don't hold. I mean, I have a hard time holding back when we do these live calls. So I like to give a lot of value and create impact and influence. So the point is, it's nothing about the value. The only question, and I've been there, so I'm not trying to speak down. I've been there. The only real question is the matter of, like, sometimes we innately, what's it word? We don't trust ourselves, right? Because dang, am I actually gonna go? Why? It's be another thing that I bought and I don't execute on it, and it ends up becoming us, and I'm gonna bring this back full circle. So this will be good. So definitely listen up. So if that's what ends up happening, so you're like, well, how many? Well, that's where the power of the community. You got to start with something, and you do have to have that discipline to make the commitment. But Georgia said a powerful thing. She said, tag somebody, get somebody else. Once you understand the way energy flows, number one, I honestly believe if that's your friend, like an actual friend, or if that's a family member and you have love for them, you have, in business and law, they call it a fiduciary duty. You have a duty, point is to let them know, right? But that's not just serving them, that's serving you, because now guess what? The people that you already spend time with, you leveling everybody up. Y'all hear the rappers talking about all my team eating, everybody eat. That's a real thing. And it's not just because it's like you're actually helping yourself improve by taking the people that you're around and you want everybody around you eating, everybody around you millionaires, financially free, etc. Right? And now, like I talked about earlier, you naturally start to elevate faster because all right, my mom's at home, my brother, sister, my cousin, people I'm hanging with, everybody's talking these same different levels, and you get to a point where you have increased your circle of influence. I mean, it's to the point now, like, if you talking low vibration around me, I got a really, really short wick for it. Like, I'm not like rude or anything, but it's just like, I don't know. It's just like I can't hear or whatever, right? And I got to get out of this situation. The same thing will happen. You'll be like, man, everybody around me is talking about, so it's not going to be, I need discipline to go out and do. I need discipline to go out and act. It's going to be like, they talk about the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. It's just going to become naturally who you are. It's the same thing, literally. If we talk about Tava with the health products, let's talk about fitness. Let's say you got fitness goals. I guarantee you, I shouldn't say the word guarantee, right? I promise you should try this, right? You promise us, a disclaimer here. Hang out with, if you don't like your fitness, go out and hang with 5 people that are in the best shape that you ever seen. I'm talking chisel, they in there 3-4 times a week, and they got really tight schedule. They on it. And make them 5 people your best friends. And then just come, I'm not gonna tell you do anything else. And then come back 6 months, a year from now. Just from you hanging with them, you're gonna pick up different habits. Say, like, you see this stuff starts to kind of sound a little bit familiar, right? You start to listen. Okay, you start to learn through osmosis. You start to think like them, you start to be them, and then your self-image starts to change. I can't be hanging around like everybody around me is whatever, a millionaire. Everybody around me is super fit. And it becomes easier to do the actions that right now may require discipline. Man, it's hard for me to commit and not watch 10 hours of TV. It'll become easier because look at who you're around. So you're actually not doing yourself. You're doing everyone a favor. We call about win-win. You're helping your friends, family, and everyone else so they can increase. But at the same time, you're actually re-ingraining it into yourself so that way you're going to go out and actually execute. Because that's really the only thing. I mean, I know the value is there, and I'm just one educator. I'm 1 of 7. So, like, this, like, anyway. So that's my last word. There's no guarantees in life.
Good. That is so good. Let me tell you what I was thinking. I was with Nicole, who's joining the platform. She's a publicist and she's also become a whole financial guru. I'm so proud of her. And she's like, we were talking about each other and she lost a lot of weight. She looks great. And she's like, Jewel, you're really maintaining your weight. She said, well, one thing about Miami, she said, it keeps pressure on you. She said, when you look around these girls and you look at their tummy and their 2 pieces, you'd be like, okay, yes, let me not eat this tonight. Right. But she was just saying how living in Miami now has really helped her not to just lose it, but maintain it because everybody around her is so fit. She said, but I can go to another city and it's like they got on a 2-piece and they look pregnant. She said in Miami, it's like really not cool. And she was just talking about how that law of association has really helped her to be like, no, these disciplines are not optional because my husband not about to be. But it was just hilarious what you were saying, how that law of association, it really does matter who you're around, how they carry themselves, how they look, what they eat, what they drink. Those things really do start to rub off on you. So that was really good. All right, Mill and Keita, which one do you want to jump in here?
I'll go. Okay, so so the one thing that I would just say as we get ready to wrap is just be willing to unlearn certain things so that you can relearn the right things. Because a lot of times, especially growing up, we've been programmed to learn and think a certain way and do certain things and stay in a certain category where we've always been taught to start our own business, but there was not a lot of insight put on investing, you know? And so that's why even now is what we've seen in connecting with people, they do businesses and can make a lot of money, but every business has a cycle. And if they didn't do the right things with their money, they find themselves having to start over. And so just seeing those patterns, be willing to unlearn and say, I may not understand everything they're saying with getting into investing. I may not understand this or that, but I'm going to unlearn everything that I've learned in the past. I'm a great producer of money, but being a producer of money, are you strong enough to delegate your money to grow for you? And that's what Tavaverse is about, delegating your money to produce more money for you, leveraging other people's money to produce more money for you. So I would just say, jump in there, like just be like a kid in kindergarten that's ready to suck up everything that is being said, and take the things that you hear and don't just hear them, but apply at your level, because that one little piece of growth that you did at your level is going to inspire you to do the next thing, and then inspire you to do the next thing. And so I would just say that.
That is so good. I mean, I would just jump right on in and just say that for you, it is time for you to just, you know what, to make a decision and just have a seat at the wealth table. How about that? Let's just start right there. We're inviting you guys to have a seat at the wealth table, to be able to hear privileged information that literally the wealthy is only privileged to actually listening to. And so that's the only decision you have at this point, is really making a decision to connect. Because see, we can't make you partner. We can't make you connect. We're just sharing with you, you know, an amazing opportunity to help you to scale up in every single area of your entire life. So now it's going to be up to you to say, you know what? I'm ready to make a decision, and not just make a decision to connect, but I also want to put the action steps that they are going to be sharing with me into place, so that way I can see the results that I desire to see. If you're listening right now, I want to speak to the person that's like, you know what, it's a couple $100. Let me tell you something. Don't let a couple $100 stop you from actually experiencing your $1 million flow because of a couple of $100. You get what I'm saying? You know, many of us at the end of the day, we have paid thousands on top of thousands, and many pay us thousands on top of thousands to actually sit in front of us, to be able to share information with them. And we have made this particular platform extremely affordable to allow people the opportunity to be able to learn and glean from this particular information on every single area. So the only thing that I want to say to the individual that is watching right now is congratulations, because we just literally allowed you the opportunity to have a seat at the table with us. You know, you're only going to continue to keep watching tremendous success stories. We're only going to continue to keep on posting it. We're only going to continue to keep on sharing the success stories of so many people that have leveled up in the area of real estate, that have got their first door, that got their first property, that done got 10 doors, 20 doors, that done turned around and started that business, right? That took that business from an idea to 5 figures, to 6 figures, to 7 figures, because they decided to partner, to literally help to scale up their entire family. You know what I mean? To basically change the financial trajectory of their life, right? Because they made a decision to partner. You're going to hear us talk about testimonials of individuals that turn around, that literally had a 500 credit score, and their credit score was able to increase. Come on, somebody. We're not making no type of income claims, but we're not producing any promises. But what I'm saying, this has already happened, and we have already, you know what I'm saying, done put people through beta and have already experienced success. But you're going to keep seeing these testimonials hit your social platform. And you don't want to continue to keep seeing it post and constantly keep sharing, and yet you have your goals. You have wrote down your actual New Year's resolution in the beginning part of January, and everything that we just share with you is probably actually has been written down on that particular, blueprint that you've written out from your vision. And we have come in and we've probably done mention some things that we can come in to assist and help you. Don't let fear come in and literally rob you of an opportunity to be able to cause you to be able to manifest those very things that you have desired, right? And so this is an open opportunity. This is an open door. And this is why we created this particular platform. And I'm telling you, Tavaverse is going to, listen, we're going to be here and we're going to continue to keep on helping people because we've all been doing it for years to come. And I'm telling you, we're super excited about the opportunity. We want to help you. We want to help your family level up. You know what I'm saying? And we're really excited about the opportunity to do that. So I just want to say congratulations to the person that is watching right now. Get back with the individual that tagged you. Message Phil, message Camille, message myself, message Dr. Jewel. If you're watching on our social platforms, right? And just turn around and say, you know what? Sign me up because I want to become a part of Tavaverse. I have some goals and plans and some things that I want to accomplish. And I'm excited about this platform. I'm excited about this community helping me to be able to scale up. And that way we all can scale up together. And so I just want to say congratulations in advance. And we look forward to seeing you guys in the back.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. So listen, you have an enrollment packet one time, right? We have 4 different enrollment packets that you'll get just one time. And then every month after that, it's just $150 a month. So it's not a lot at all. And if you decide to tell other people and build a team, when I tell you Tavaverse pays a very, very, very lucrative compensation plan. Do you have to tell other people? Absolutely not. But if you do, my God, they pay very well. Hi, Justy. That's our little buddy back there. But yeah, they pay extremely, extremely well. So get back with the person that invited you on here. We're so excited you guys came on here tonight. We have an amazing community we're ready to bring you into. We'll bring you into our Telegram chat. We have calls every day. When I tell you the support is absolutely premium. So Phil, thank you. Marquita, thank you. Camille, thank you. You guys are some of the most brilliant minds. This team is just really phenomenal, and I really mean that. And excited to have you guys a part of our Tavaverse family. So thanks again, and God bless. Bye-bye.
Peace.